about the Maymouse Music Boot Camp. I was young enough to, well, I got it from a boot camp perspective. And I learned, and look who I am now, StacksAMilli. I'm one of the most famous people in the entire world. Birdman Jr., Rick Ross, the white Rick Ross, the white Kanye West. Like, look at who I am. Everything I've ever wanted. I got the big red machine motorcycle, the newest technology, lithium on it, goes 100 kilometers an hour. That's 60 miles an hour electric motorcycle. I'm doing it. Cadillac Escalade. I'm like the king of New York. It's like, but I took what I took out of it. I took what I took out of it. But there is some ones that, well, they feel like they didn't need a lesson. All right. But that ain't me. I took my lesson, me. Instagram. What was I supposed to say? You could just tell everything. They say real recognize real. And at the time, maybe they didn't recognize real with some of them, and some of them are very mad about that. But that's got nothing to do with me to a certain degree. But I know the power of Maybach music, and I know the power of Ricky, and I know the power of the General. But, well, there's another general here named General Beans or whatever, and well, he happens to be with somebody. He's went at him before too, but General Beans has bad memory. He might forget what he had said, and you know how that goes. General Beans has bad memory about what he said about Gunplay, or what he said about Rick, or what he said about so and so. You don't know who, but anyways, it's just factual that he has records where he said this and that about so and so, and said this and that about this person. So that's how it goes. But StacksAMilli's always been thorough and up to date. Like, this is another video when I talk about it. And I'm thorough and up to date with the Maybach Music Group because I know the power of Rozay. But I know the power of the ones that rival Rozay as well, and especially if I say the ones like JD, John Gotti, General Beans. These ones are nobody to play with. So it's a very interesting story to tell. I don't think Maybach Music would be safe returning ever to Canada. There's ones that are mad about that quarter pound of marijuana that got took by mass plate. There's ones, but it is the untouchable empire. But I have touched Rozay. I've touched him 2 times. I put a knife to his neck one time when they pulled a blicky on me, and then down the street from London Music Hall, and then one time I had to trip him and he banged his knee on the concrete. He's not as big as you would think. I'm actually much bigger than Rozay in my body, but he's got the guns, and I heard the slide, and he's got Gunplay. That's like his Popeye. I always I think of Gunplay in my mind, I think of him as Popeye. Pablo Escobar's hitter. And this one time, Gunplay came to do something. I was at this jewelry store. I don't know what he's up to, but I wouldn't let him in. I didn't want him in. Meek, no, they're all pretty savage. Even Omarion, even this little one, like this little Chihuahua one. Even Wale, I bet, But what was I going to say? Oh, about Popeye. Quick Popeye, real quick. No, not Popeye the Sailor Man. Popeye the Hitman. That was Pablo Escobar's right-hand man. That's Gunplay, Don Logan, and Ricky. He's Ricky's right-hand man. You start going, hey, yeah, Ricky. What I learned, Ricky holds on to his money. They're real serious about the money. It's not that Ricky don't have the money. It's Ricky's about making money, period. And all the rest is saved. That's their money. There's no spending of his money. So it's hard to explain. Don't think they're going to put any effort into you. They don't give a damn. It's all about the profit with them. Much like a hardcore gang, like the Escobaros and things. That's what Gunplay is. And we knew that from the get-go, but we didn't know he was real like that. Let's be honest. We didn't know they were real. I knew they were real, but I didn't know they were real like they were. Especially Ross. He's almost sick. I remember when I was a kid, I wanted to go to a Rick Ross show. And he had some sick, twisted thing where he wouldn't allow me to go to his show. But I got to meet Gunplay, and I got to meet. I've seen him from a distance. I got to touch him lately, but in the beginning, I never got to touch him. Um, when I first met him, he wouldn't even go near us really. And we've seen Torch from a distance, but the only person I got close with is Gunplay and Mass Spike Miles to a certain degree. But Gunplay, we had him for like a whole week. We had Gun, but he refused to do the music video. And we were like, man, we paid 10 G's. You can't whip up a $2,500 music video and count the like. Come on, there could have been something made out of it. My video wasn't the best. I'm only a kid at the time. I think 15, 16 in the club with my first ever HD video recorder. And I made a documentary out of it, but I didn't know nothing about lighting. I didn't know nothing. I learned from I was an apprentice to the Dre Films guy. He said, "Oh, clip it like this. Make sure you secure it like that. We do it like this. We do it like that." And now I'm like a pro. But that's that Maybach Music Boot Camp. And I know I don't have any pictures with Ross. I have one where it looks like I might be beside him, but he ain't there. But they were screwing with me on military radio that they were there or something. And I heard bottles at the door, but when I got up to check the door, there were no bottles. So that's how low I was. You know, some artists, they sign them or whatever. They give them this, that, and there. I was so low, they were just playing tricks on me. To motivate me to get up off my butt to even to be able to go to the store to buy my own bottle. They would shake big cases of bottles. What's it called? Big cases of champagne and whatnot. They'd shake them to where I could hear them on the radio or on the telephone or what have you, but they would never give me no bottles. And then I go on the computer and they're giving everyone that fucking even looks relatively cool a bottle. I'm like, bro, I've been busting my ass. You didn't even give me a bottle. No, this person's got bottles. This person. So that's how they did me. But that's who made me who I am today. Now I'm the guy that buys all the cases of bottles, and maybe they're begging me for a bottle now. Especially Gunplay. And I don't even have a bottle tonight. I want a bottle of ginger ale. I don't even want wine. I like ginger ale. Or that what's it called? What's that one expensive champagne that everybody drinks? Not everybody, but it hasn't been seen that much lately. But Dom Perignon, that's much like a ginger ale. But if it ain't Dom, I generally like a good, nice ginger ale, Canada Dry. It's a big ginger ale time for us, for our family, whole family, my mom, me, and many other people like me right now. The craving is for ginger ale. Back to Maybach. Ross, I wonder what his favorite beverage is, other than alcohol. I really wish he'd slow down on the alcoholic beverages, but at the same time, you don't. It's like he's on it so bad that the streets would be so devastated if he stopped drinking alcohol. It keeps him intoxicated. If he didn't drink and smoke as much as he did, he would be disastrous for the industry. All we would see is Ross again. He would take everything. He's a mastermind. It would be Planet of the Apes. Luckily, they have their drug addiction. Same goes for me. There's so many songs and whatnot I'm missing because I'm loading my pipe up with some weed or I'm smoking, hitting the bong, and I should be singing. I could have been a superstar. Same with them. They could have been super, super duper more than they are. I mean, they're superstars, but you know what I mean. They could have been even more. And that's the thing about it. You strive to do as much as you can, but you can only get so much done. Oh, I like this Planet of the Apes when they have these ones. General Beans. Oh, I think we can listen to General. So this is one of their generals. He was a good guy. He was more than a good guy. I got to he walked in, I had a blunt rolled up. A nice blunt. I think somebody else rolled it, like JD or something. JD even taught me how to roll blunts. JD even taught me how to roll blunts. I didn't even know what a blunt. I always wanted to try a blunt.